This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What's up? What's up? Back again, guys. MMAniacs Podcast. Joined as always by my partner in crime, Bare Knuckle Ken. What's up, buddy?
What up?
Yeah, dude. So, anything new in your life?
Nothing fucking MMA wise. Hey, we got a Yoli. How you doing, Yoli?
Hey, what's up, Yoli? So, super fan Yoli. She supports all of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's funny. I just got back from training, and I can always tell the days when my training partner was that D1 wrestler, because when I go to eat lunch, it's hard to chew. You know? Oh man, we were doing some brutal stuff today, dude. The brutal, like gi trapping and gi chokes from Mount and stuff. So it was nasty, dude. And then Professor, he like demonstrated one of the techniques on me, and so he has my gi, pulls my gi from this side up behind my head, and he's got it like this. And then he's like, move. I'm like, I can't move. So I'm like trying to fight, but I was like, I want to offer a little resistance at least, because he's like, move. So I'm like trying to fight, but it just prolonged it, so he just kept instead of now, it's like now he's got knee on belly, and then oh dude, it was like I just kept punishing myself. And after he's done demonstrating, right, I get up, and my training partner just fucking puts his hand out. He gives me dap. He's like, bro, you took it all right. Took it all right there, yeah, I got punished, dude. I stared at the sun too long. But I mean, it's fun for me. Professor's not the type that's going to hurt you, injure you, but he's going to hurt you. He's going to show that it works, and so I actually enjoy when I get the chance for Professor to demonstrate a technique on me, because it's rare that you encounter that level of mastery, dude. I'm a 280-pound man, and when you can make me, when you can sun me, that's impressive, dude. To just sun me like that is okay, bow to the master, So we got the fight night coming up on the weekend. The main event should be good. I mean, the rest of the card is kind of weak. I like Dan Ige, 50K Ige, but he's fighting, a nobody kind of. And most of the people that you recognize, Sergey Spivak, for example, they're fighting nobodies. I don't know. I'll probably watch the main event, maybe a couple of fights. I might watch the Spivak fight or the Ige fight just because I like Dan Ige. I like to see him get a win. But as far as the whole card, nah. But we got, then we have is it 326 coming up with Max Holloway and Charles?
Yep.
Yeah, we broke that down a bit. It's an all right card. What do you think of that card?
Seems entertaining enough for an actual numbered event.
What are you looking forward to the most besides the main event?
Well, you got Kaio versus DeRitter, which I kind of want to see if there's any extra drama that's going to be added in with the fight in Nerds, just for the happenstance that it might, just because of Kaio siding with his buddy. I don't think it will, but hey, maybe.
I hope not, man. I'm a fan of the Fighting Nerds. I want them to stay together, and I really feel like all four of those guys could be champions if they just, can get along. It's really John Silva is kind of the odd man out. He's the one that's really making the beef, him and the coach. Kaio, he's on Hoofy's side. or at least he's shown support for Hoofy.
Mhm.
Pratis hasn't said anything, right? So Pratis is just like staying out of it. John Silva is the only one that's really raising a stink about it. So it's like, while I understand his point of view, like, bro, how much do you trust your training partner? That's what it comes down to. Like, if you really believe that he's the kind of guy that's going to go and tell Max Volkanovski all your secrets, then he's really not a good
Yeah.
training partner to begin with, dude.
Mhm. Yeah.
So maybe you should consider leaving the team instead of Hoopy, right?
Yeah, I would generally say that, but with the coach being, for lack of a better term, butthurt about it too, that seems like something that could be to where it breaks it up, because you got the coach and one of the pillars on one side of it.
Yeah. I hope not. I really hope that they can work it out. And it's like my professor said, because I asked him, I'm like, you think that they settle it in the cage? Like, you think they go back to the gym and Hoofy and Silva hop in the cage at the gym and just like, it's like only fighting nerds and coaches allowed, and no videotaping, no nothing, and just like they settle their differences there. He was like, Hoofy, kill Silva. Like he said, Silva better hope not. Like Hoofy will kill him. Like, I don't know. I mean, I hate to disagree with my professor. I don't know. John Silva is a tough dude, but I do think Hoofy is much longer and has that precision kind of striking that, it's certainly possible. But if that's what it takes, throw some headgear on him, dude, and somebody's ego is going to get hurt. But hey, that's the fight game, dude. Like how many times, like, it's the best way to settle it, dude. If you got a beef, take it out back, squabble it up, and then shake hands, and it's like, all right, like whoever loses shuts the fuck up, and whoever wins, you don't have to rooster crow and fucking walk around with your dick out, right? Like, you just take the win and be gracious about it and say, all right, it's over. Like, we're good now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody takes the L, somebody takes the W, and it's over with, and we just move on. Like, I hope that they can work that out. But yeah, that Kaio fight, it's interesting because DeRitter is such a strong kickboxer, and Kaio's like more heavily a jiu-jitsu guy. Like, he's gonna have to get that to the ground, and it's gonna be tough, man, because kickboxers are trained to stay on their feet. So it's like, man, what is up with the UFC? Has been giving Kaio some rough fucking matchups lately, dude. Like, they must not like that dude, like, because they don't want to see him crack that top five, man. They keep giving him bad stylistic matchups. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but meanwhile, you got Pratis, is Pratis number 5. I thought Pratis, we talked about it last week. Pratis is number 5 at welterweight, so he's in line. Like, he's got one more fight, and he could fight for the title. Silva, he should be at like number 6 after beating Arnold Allen. And then you got Hoofy, who just knocked out Fiziev, so he should be at least. I'm thinking he should be at least 10, maybe 9.
Yeah, he's 9.
Yeah, so
you're pretty much dead on with the rankings.
Yeah, so you got 3 guys that are like, 1 to 2 fights away potentially, 1 to 2 wins, I should say, from a title shot. I'm not so sure. Out of those guys, let me ask you this: out of those guys, out of Pratis, Hoofy, and Silva, who do you think has the best chance at capturing a belt? Keeping in mind who the champions are at their respective weight classes.
That's what I'm doing, is going. I gotta say it. Silva's got the best chance with it being Volk, because you got either Ilya or Islam.
Okay, so on paper, you pick the path of least resistance, right?
Generally, yeah.
You picked the path. No, I'm saying you picked, not
Oh,
you
oh,
generally
oh,
picked.
oh,
In
oh,
this
okay.
case,
Yes.
yo, what's up? What's up, Cole? You picked the path of least resistance, right? In the sense that it's not Ilya or Islam. But Volk is no fucking joke either.
I know that's like trying to pick, do you want to die by the wolf or the bear?
Yeah, and here's the thing is like, so while I would generally agree with you, and while we don't really MMA math doesn't always math, like Diego Lopez just knocked out Silva, and then now you're going to and then Diego Lopez just got 50-45 by Volk twice, and now we're going to pretty much 50-45. I mean, I didn't find a round to give him. But now you're going to put Silva, who just got knocked out by Diego, in there with Volk. What do you expect to happen? Like, is all of a sudden Silva going to land the shot that Diego couldn't land?
No, I just think that he has the easier shot of it because I don't see anybody right now getting past the champions in the respective weight classes.
Well, I'm going to say, I'm going to actually go against the grain here, and I'm going to say I actually think it's Pratis, because Pratis has legitimate one-punch knockout power, and he has crazy accuracy. Like, I know that in that, if he was to fight Islam, he's gonna go. Islam is running across the cage and taking him down. Like, he's the one guy that I don't think Islam wants to stand with Pratis. Like, he's gonna Khabib his ass, right? He's gonna try to Khabib his ass. But here's the thing is, like, so I would say Pratis, but here's another angle that we've talked about some, but we didn't talk about right now. What if it's actually Hoofi? I know as much as you love Ilya, right? Like, I'm not saying that Hoofi beats Ilya, but what if Ilya beats Gaethje and then he goes up to chase Islam? Now all of a sudden you have a new champion at lightweight.
In that case, yes. If we're sticking with respective champions, I think they're boned all the way across. But if you do get Ilya to move up like we're expecting, then sure. But then you got to go against Armin at that point, because that's who I'm going to assume is going to end up with it.
And which, Armin is a wrestling machine, but, and that's not really the wheelhouse for the fighting nerds, but, every round starts standing, so you got a chance. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it, dude. Like, I'm not 100% convinced that Ilya just beats Hoofi like that. Like, I think Hoofi presents an interesting challenge for Ilya because he's long like Paddy Pimblett, but he's got way more power and precision. So Ilya, like, when do you see Ilya knocking people out with straight punches, like straight right hands, straight?
He doesn't. He gets right in the phone booth with you.
Exactly. Do you think Hoofi is going to be stupid enough to phone booth fight with Ilya?
I don't think it's about stupid. I think it's that Ilya is just going to set you up into the phone booth. That's his footwork. Is not, I'm going to sit here on the outside and keep you in my range. Ilya's, I'm going to get right in on you, and I'm not going to let you get too much distance.
Okay. But Hoofi has... Can you pull up their reaches? Because I'm pretty sure Hoofi has to have like at least a 3 or 4 inch reach advantage in the hands, and then with the legs it's even more. So he's able to cover a lot of ground, dude. That if Ilya tries to walk him down, which he really kind of has to, because he can't stay on the outside and try to trade punches with Hoofi. Hoofi, even though Hoofi doesn't have Ilya power, he has power. Right?
Yeah, but if you're trading punches, I'm taking Ilya in a punch exchange all day. Unless you got to make that a pure boxing match, and you got to hope you can stay on the bicycle. But Hoofi has 75-inch reach. Ilya has 69.
6 inches, bro.
Mm-hmm.
6-inch reach advantage. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. And so this is what I'm saying, dude. Like, Hoofy doesn't have to. He doesn't have to phone booth fight. Like, he can keep popping his jab into Ilya's face. And remember the Max Holloway versus Ilya fight. Max was looking really good until he wasn't. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Until Ilya managed to get him into the phone booth for that split second and take him out. Max was actually dominating the boxing, right? He was hitting and moving. Like he was, I mean, he wasn't, I don't think he was damaging Ilya all that much, but he was tagging him, he was stinging him, right? It's like that float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, right? And Ilya was getting stung, but he wasn't getting hurt, right? But Hoofy has the power to hurt, right? And he has a 6-inch reach advantage with the hands, and that's not even counting if he decides to use his feet, if he decides to use kicks. So I can see a scenario where Hoofy actually is able to keep him on the outside and frustrate him and land a shot that changes the fight. The one thing for Hoofy is you can't hurt Ilya and then rush in and try to finish him, because that's how you're going to end up getting getting Alex beheaded. Like, you remember Israel Adesanya, how like Alex had him against the cage and he was like, oop, it's about to be over. And then bang, all of a sudden Alex is out cold. Like, that shot, like Ilya can, he can land that shot. So you have to go ahead.
That's one of those that you have to fight pretty much a perfect fight. You have to keep your distance the whole time. Because once you get into Ilya's distance, any punch can end that fight right there.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that, and keep in mind, I'm not saying that this will happen. I'm saying that I can envision a scenario where Hoofy fights the perfect smart fight. He uses his reach advantage. Ilya is forced to walk him down because he has to try to get inside. And if I'm Hoofy, I'm throwing 500 fucking jabs in that fight, dude. I'm just going to keep that left hand in his face, or right hand. I forget if Hoofy, I believe, is right-handed, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think because he knocked out Fiziev with a right hand. I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to keep that left hand in his face, and just all night, dude. I'm going to kick him. I'm going to leg kick him, keep him at a distance. And even if I hurt him, I'm not going to rush in to try to finish him. I'm going to if I hurt him once, now that chin is cracked a little bit. Now the damage accumulates, you crack him once, you can crack him again. So I stay on the outside and I look for that shot that, like, where he finally doesn't get up. Like the one shot that just bang right down the pipe, like he did to Fiziev, like I could see a scenario. In fact, I think I know that I'll be in the minority here, but I would actually, based on that, I would actually favor Hoofy in that fight.
I can't follow you anyway with that.
You just heard me say that I would be in the minority, right?
The
great minority.
Absolutely. Because again, you have to fight a perfect fight for that. One misstep, and you're gonna be fucking reading tilt.
Yeah,
I don't. Man, it is a hell of a thing to keep up 5-minute rounds of staying on the outside and not letting Ilya tag you.
Yeah, but see, you just said something there that it doesn't have to be 5 rounds, because you're talking about a guy like Max Holloway or a guy like Patty having to stay on the outside and just box and has no chance of knocking him out. They just got to score points. That's not the case with Hoofy. Hoofy can knock him out in the second round. So it's like he doesn't have to be perfect for 5 rounds. He just has to be perfect until he knocks him out.
Yeah, I still don't see it happening of a knockout like that. If he does knock him out, I think it's something that's the cumulative effect to where you're talking like something in the fourth round. And again, that's still a long time to try to keep that up for.
I think you might be underestimating Hoofy's power a little bit, or you might be overestimating Ilya's chin. Because keep in mind, we haven't seen Ilya's chin tested yet.
Mm-hmm.
We really haven't seen anybody just full on crack him, dude. And I think we're going to get to see that on the White House card. I think Gaethje is going to go down, and he's going to go down hard, but he's not going to go down without landing a punch, dude. And that's what I want to see is how does Ilya hold up when the firepower is coming the other way, dude?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because Gaethje's got some damn hammers for fists himself. He might not have the dynamite that Ilya does, but he is absolutely no slouch and does possess one punch knockout power.
I would even say it more like Gaethje has dynamite in his hands and Ilya has C4. You know, like it's like because Gaethje can one punch.
Mm-hmm.
He can one punch a guy too. You know, like if he catches him flush. I mean, look what he did to James Vick. You know, like he's although he hasn't done that in quite a while. It's more of an accumulation, like what he did to Tony Ferguson. You know, but bro, that wears on you when you're taking hard punches over the course of 3-4 rounds. Like it wears on you. But the question is, can Gaethje go 3 or 4 rounds? Like,
because that's one thing we also can't forget is not only does he have that explosive freaking power, but Ilya has insane punch accuracy too.
Again, but let's look at the reach. Can you pull up their reach? So we know that Ilya has 69-inch reach. What's Gaethje's reach? Because reach matters in a fight, dude. It really does. Now, it's not always the determining factor, but it's a factor to consider.
He's got a 70-inch reach, so it's damn near the same.
Ooh, damn. Not good for Gaethje.
No.
This is where you need some attributes, bud. This is where you need that 4 or 5 inch reach advantage, like, you know, because 4 or 5 inches makes a difference, especially with Ilya, because Ilya is a short hook guy. Like he doesn't throw a lot of just straight down the pipe shots. He's very accurate on his hooks. Like he'll put that hook right on your chin, right? But you got to get in close to get that hook. You know, so if Gaethje can keep him on the end of straight punches, but the problem is Gaethje is a hooker too. Gaethje likes to throw hooks.
Oh yeah, no. I'm thinking my whole laughing about it is this is going to be a hell of a fight, but I don't think it's lasting long.
It goes back, you know, George Foreman. I don't know if he made it up, but George Foreman used to say, "You don't hook with a hooker," right? Mm-hmm. And that's unfortunately where Gaethje's at. Is he's going to have to try to hook with a hooker. It's not going to be good.
Oh, hell no. Because like I said, I do not expect this fight lasting long. I would personally be shocked if that fight goes out of the first.
You think not even out of the first, huh?
With the style of those two fighters, I could see them just saying, all right, fuck it, let's go.
You don't think Gaethje kind of plays it safe in the first and just like, you know, tries to gauge range and stuff like that?
No, especially since this could very well possibly be his last fight. He has been known as a warrior and a tough motherfucker in a sport full of tough motherfuckers. He was labeled the most violent for a reason. I'm not expecting this guy to, you know, poke and prod at Ilya's defenses too much. I got a feeling it's going to be just all right, legacy time.
I mean, it's a fair take. Playing devil's advocate, though, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm not saying that this is what I think Gaethje is going to do, but I'm saying it's one avenue that he could take. Gaethje is one of the hardest leg kickers there is in MMA. You haven't seen it too much lately because when he got with, I think it's Trevor Whitman, he focuses more on like his technical boxing, but Gaethje has crazy hard leg kicks, dude. He's one of the best leg kickers in the game. If I'm Gaethje, I play that whole first round just leg kicking and staying on the outside, just moving, try to technically outbox him and frustrate him, and then see where it goes, because you might land a shot. At the very least, you've kicked his leg to shit, so now he's going to have a harder time trying to walk you down, right? Like, I'm looking to land 15, 20 leg kicks in that first round, dude. You know, like, I may not land all those, but I'm looking to, if I'm Gaethje, you know? And then see where it goes. Because I think getting out of the first round sort of settles it's like a pressure cooker, it's ready to boil over, right? Like, everybody's expecting first round fireworks and a knockout. Like, they're expecting this fight's not going long. So if Gaethje takes the opposite approach, by getting to the second, third round, he kind of takes the steam off that a bit. You know, it's like, I don't know. To me, it seems a smarter strategy to try to make it last a little while. Like, I don't know if you necessarily want to go 5 rounds, because you don't want to give Ilya that long to find one shot, right? But if Gaethje has the power, like, let's not get it twisted here. Gaethje could knock out Ilya.
That's why I think it's not going to go out out of the first there. That it's going to be one of those. My best chance is to knock him out, but it's also his best chance to knock me out too. We're going to see which one's going to come out on top here. Because I got a feeling that Gaethje's going to believe in his power and his chin.
So you're basically assuming it's going to be Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
With those two, absolutely.
It's a dangerous game to play for Gaethje. I don't know that that's the strategy I would use if I was Gaethje. But you raise an interesting point about, Gaethje has a reputation, the most violent man, right? Personally, I throw that shit out the window, and I'm like, I'm not going to let what people say about me dictate the way that I fight this fight. This is the most important fight of my career. It's my last shot at a title. And so I'm going to play it smart. Like, if I play it smart, at least I know I did everything that I could do tactically to try to make the most of this opportunity, rather than just going out there and being the sacrificial lamb and just going out on my shield,
Now, I 100% agree with you. That would be the very smart thing to do. But I also got the feeling of, it's hard for Tiger to change his stripes here.
Yeah, but it's not that much it's not really changing his stripes, because if you go back, watch some of Gaethje's more recent fights, like I mean in the last 5 years or so, right? Like, that Tony fight.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. He has gotten a lot better at evading shit, because for the good majority of his career, his favorite way to block a punch was with his face.
Mm-hmm.
But he has gotten better at that, but you still don't see him out there going out and just putting on a boxing clinic. At some point, he breaks down and gets into the slugfest.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not just about evading, though. My point is, like, if you go back and watch that Tony Ferguson fight, right? For example, that's one fight that I can think of off the top of my head. Gaethje, he was smart and tactical that whole fight. He didn't rush in. When he got him hurt, he didn't, he just sat back and he just kept landing these hard shots, and he's like, I know eventually if I just keep hitting him, he's eventually going to fold, because nobody can take this kind of damage and just stay standing, except maybe Nate Diaz. Nobody can do it. So if he takes that approach, it's like, I don't have to rush in like a bulldozer to knock down this brick wall, right? If I just sit here steady with a sledgehammer and I just keep hitting that same brick over and over and over again, eventually that brick is going to fall out. And then what do you do? Wait, so you get my analogy, right? Like, let's say you got a brick wall in front of you and you break that first brick out. Where's the next place you hit?
right by it.
The brick right on top of it, or right to the side of it, the brick, because now that empty space creates a space where you can knock out the next brick, and then the next brick, and then the next brick. You see what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying that he's going to go to different parts of the body or anything. I'm just saying he just has to be patient and keep hitting him in that one place, the face, like the chin. Just keep hitting him. Keep hitting them with that sledgehammer, and eventually just trust in the hammer, bro. Like eventually that wall is going to weaken up, and it's the first brick will fall. You'll see the first little like, okay, because Ilya, we haven't seen his chin tested. Maybe he has an iron chin, right? But you keep taking those shots from Gaethje over and over and over again. Eventually one of those shots is going to, like, he might eat them at first. He might be like, yeah. But eventually one is going to be like, boom, like, ooh, okay. And that's the first brick out of the wall, dude. Like it's, I don't know. I know that it sounds hopeful, and I'm not saying that I expect this to happen. I'm saying if I was Gaethje, this would be my strategy.
Yeah, and I'd feel a hell of a lot better on that strategy if he had more of a reach. But for you to hit him, you got to get in his range too. And yeah, you're hitting there with that hammer every so often in that same fucking spot. But that's also leading you to get that fucking bomb blown up right in your face too.
Yeah. I mean, it's like in World War II, right? Like the Japanese kamikazes, like they're sitting here running planes into aircraft carriers, right? But it only took one Hiroshima, one Nagasaki, dude, and the war is over. You know what I mean? Like, so you're dealing with, airplane power versus nuclear power. So
there's my major point with that Ilya's power is just such a difference maker when it comes to it, because we're used to seeing guys with Gaethje's power of being the heavy hitters, that type of thing, to where they can drop you and knock you out with one punch, but it's not, they're gonna catch you at all these weird angles and fucking tear your head clean off. To our Ilya, that's what we've been seeing so far.
He's putting them all to sleep, dude. Not just knocking them out, like putting them to sleep. So
that's what I'm saying here.
Doesn't that, what we were just talking about, doesn't that make actually a more convincing argument for Hoofy though? Because Hoofy has the 6-inch reach advantage. He doesn't have to get in Ilya's range to land that sledgehammer on that wall over and over and over again. And here's the other part. Hoofy actually does throw straight right hands, which is, he's not going to hook with a hooker. He doesn't have to. I'm not going to say he's not going to, but he doesn't have to. He has that straight missile, dude. So I don't know. Hoofy, he has a ways to go anyway.
That's kind of my major part of it, is I don't think he's quite ready for that type of fight yet.
I don't think that fight will end up happening, because I think by the time Hoofy is ready to fight for the belt, Ilya is going to be already chasing Islam. Yep. I mean, I'm a nobody. I don't know. I don't have anybody inside Ilya's camp or anything like that. So I'm purely speculating here, but I place it at about an 80 to 85% chance that Ilya beats Gaethje and then he moves up to go chase Islam.
Well, he's already said he wants that super fight. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for him to announce it literally right after the fight.
Yeah,
that way it kind of almost forces it a little bit.
Wouldn't it be funny? Because like they're talking about having Islam on the White House card, and Ilya is going to be the main event on the fight on the White House card. Like Ilya wins, and then he's like, Islam, I'm coming up for you. And all of a sudden at the post-fight like press conference, Islam's like, I'm here to announce my retirement.
Go full John Jones.
He's like, I don't have anything to prove anymore. Like I'm the greatest. Like that would be full John Jones. I don't have anything to prove anymore. Like, you know, like who is this guy? He's a nobody. Like, no, he's just the up and coming killer. Like, you know. Oh, speaking of which, dude, I read a report yesterday. It's looking like Tom Aspinall may never fight again. His eye is so messed up. He can't track movement. Like he can't hit mitts. Like if somebody goes to shake his hand, like he can't even like find their hand. He's not able to drive. He has to have somebody drive him around. He's had 3 surgeries already on his eye. Yeah, dude.
With how egregious that eye poke was, would you be a fan of disciplining Cyril Gahn after the fact, even though this far away, just because of the damage of it? Or
no, even though he deserves it, no. It's you have to do it in the moment, dude. He should have been disqualified in the moment. But the worst part, he basically ruined the only hope the heavyweight division had of gaining some sort of relevance again. And here's the even crazier part. The UFC actually asked Tom to vacate the heavyweight belt so that the division can keep moving. It's like, bro, like I got fouled. And not only fouled, like the dude stuck his finger into the back of my skull. I can't eat. Now I've had 4 surgeries. I may never even fight again. My career may be over. And you want your stupid fucking belt? Like you're worried about the belt? Like, dude, Tom has every reason to be just absolutely fucking livid, dude. Like, it's bullshit. And you know the worst part for Tom? He never got, like, I don't know what he made for that Cyril Gahn fight, but Tom never got to cash in on finally becoming the champ. It's like that's the you've worked your way up. You finally have the chance to make life-changing money because as a heavyweight champ, you're getting pay-per-view points, dude. Right? Like, and this was back when there was still pay-per-view. Now it's all on Paramount and stuff. I don't know how the pay structure works now because you don't, you know, do you get points on subscriptions or like I don't know, like who probably not. They're giving you a flat rate, right? But the flat rate probably increases since you don't get pay-per-view action. But still, dude, like to me, Tom got screwed out of cashing in on all the hard work. It's like you did all the hard work to get to the top, and now all of a sudden one bad night, you know. So I don't have access to his medical reports. The news report that I read didn't give medical specifics, and I'm sure Tom's probably keeping those pretty close to the vest because the UFC has already asked him to vacate the title. So if, you know, he's got to keep it close to the chest because if he comes out and says, yeah, my eye is fucked, they're just going to strip him of the belt, you know? It's bullshit, dude. And meanwhile, Cyril Gahn is walking around like, and people are literally calling Tom a coward. They're like, bro, he should have just kept going. And the worst part is the people who are saying that are these Cheeto dusty knuckle motherfuckers sitting on the couch like, bro, if I would have got poked like that, I would have kept fighting. Motherfucker, first of all, you couldn't even make weight. Like, you couldn't even make 265 to get in there, right? Like, that requires more discipline than you've ever shown in your entire life. Second of all, like, you know, come on, dude. You're literally the most unathletic motherfucker you probably know. And you're going to sit here and you're going to go in there like, bro, you would have whooped Cyril Gahn's ass? Yeah? That dude's 6'4", like 260 pounds of solid fucking muscle, and he's a kickboxer. But, oh, yeah, you would have totally whooped his ass, dude, even with a compromised eye. Like, bro, you could have poked both of his eyes, and he still would have beat the fuck out of you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's flip the script. Bro, you could have cut one of his fucking legs off. You know what I mean? You could have cut one of his legs off, and he'll still probably beat you. And but you're gonna sit here and call Tom Aspinall a fucking coward. Like the audacity of these people, dude. Like, and maybe I'm taking it a little harsh, but like, bro, I train. I know what it is. Like, I know how hard it is, and this is just jujitsu. I'm not even fighting people. Like, I know how hard the game is, dude. It's not for the weak at heart, bro. It's not for the couch warriors, dude. Like, but the couch warriors love to talk. They love to comment.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Armchair quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. Like, Tom, his career might be over, and it's unfortunate because remember we were talking about this, and it doesn't bode well for the heavyweight division with Tom out. But the heavyweight division was already dead before, right? Remember we talked about this. Like, once Tom won the belt, I said it very clearly. I was like,
going to go on a murderer's row. Just drop everybody.
Tom has a chance to defend the title 6-7 fucking times, dude. Like, he'll not only beat Stipe's record, he'll double it. Because the depth at heavyweight is so thin. And not just that, but they just got rid of Jailton Almeida too. Like, Jailton Almeida was a top 5 or 8 contender, and he was a wrestler, and he got cut from the UFC because his last couple fights have been boring. But he's a wrestler, bro. What do you expect? Like, so that part of it also kind of bothers me. Like, Dana picks and chooses, man. Or I won't say Dana. I'll say Dana or Sean Shelby, whoever decides on who gets cut, they pick and choose, man. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not always fair because they got guys that are boring as fuck still in the UFC. But here, Jailton Almeida has a couple boring fights, and you're going to cut him. But he's a top 8 contender in the world.
That's what happens when you get to the politics part of it. Well, I like this guy more, and I wouldn't mind continue seeing him around the office every now and again. So hey, you get to go.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we got wrestle fuckers like Armin, who although to their credit, the UFC doesn't like Armin. They're doing everything they can to keep him from a title shot because they know when Armin wins the belt, the lightweight division goes. Like, that's the end of the lightweight division as we know it, dude. Like, nobody's gonna watch the lightweight division anymore because it's just gonna be WrestleFuck City, dude. And believe me, I'm not against grappling, like, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I am against WrestleFucking. WrestleFucking to me.
I'm back and forth on it because I get to the whole thing of, yeah, it's boring as fuck to watch, but then at the same time that requires a hell of a lot of skill to be able to do that, and if you don't like it, stop it.
If you don't like it, stop it. That's exactly, yeah. I'm the same way, dude. If you don't like it, stop it. But the problem is, it's hard to stop. These guys are high-level specialists, guys like Bilal Muhammad, who've never knocked anybody out in their whole fucking career. They just hump grind to a decision. Like, I don't like that style of fighting. That was my one gripe with Khabib. Although Khabib, at least, the one thing I could say about Khabib was at least he didn't lay and pray. Like, Khabib was constantly looking for a finish. You know what I mean? Like, and he finished a lot. He finished a lot of fights. He wasn't knocking people out, He was choking them out, or he was triangle them, arm, like, he just, yeah, at least he was always looking for a finish. And Islam is too. That's why I can stomach Islam fights, even though they're quote unquote wrestle fucks, is because he's constantly looking to finish. He's not just looking to lay on a guy to win the round. Volkanovski to me is he's kind of a lay and pray guy. Like, his stand up is fast and it's engaging, but his wrestling, like, it's meant to just stifle you. I don't really see him finishing guys like that. Volkanovski, if you go back and watch Volkanovski's fights, he has a lot of decisions, dude. You know, he doesn't really finish people. He doesn't have power. He has speed and technique, right? But Islam has at least knocked people out before, or at least got close. Like he hit Charles and dropped Charles, and then he ended up arm triangle him, but at least he dropped him, you know, like so. And Charles has dropped hella people, you know, hella people. Charles is primarily a grappler, but Charles, I mean, he dropped Gaethje.
He got some hands.
He dropped Gaethje. He dropped Chandler. You know, he dropped Poirier, like, or at least he stung him and got on his back. Like, you know, I don't mind grapplers as long as you're not laying prey, dude. Like even Merab was kind of laying praying for a while, but against Sugar Sean O'Malley the last time, he finished him, dude. He was like, you know, it was like finally he's going, and I think people finally got to Merab. Like, go ahead.
That's 1,000% what I think too. I don't think he loses that fight if he fights his normal Merab fight.
I mean, I don't know. Because that was a different Petr Yan than that was the most focused and on point Petr Yan I've ever seen, dude. To do what he did to Merab, even though Merab definitely didn't fight his normal Merab fight, like to do what he did to Merab is pretty remarkable, dude. And I don't know if you're going to get an immediate rematch. Like I think Merab definitely deserves it, but if I'm Merab, I wait. That to me, that's the Willy Wonka golden ticket, dude. I just sit back, I go train, I let my body rest. You know what I mean? Like I probably take 6 months off just so that I can like recover from trying to defend the title 4 times in 1 year, cutting weight 4 times in 1 year. Like I rest and then I come back to the drawing board and then I Merab his ass next time, dude.
Yep.
Like, dude, you're not even going to get to catch a breath because I'm going to be so far on you and in you. Like, I'm practically going to be in you, dude. You know what I mean? Like, your face is here. My face is right here. Like, you know, I'm going to be a wet blanket on you, dude. Like, so, but, you know, so let's talk about this White House card. We got like 10 minutes left. What are some fights that you would like to see on this White House card? Have you thought about it much?
Oh, is the Ilya and Gaethje one official, or is that?
As far as I know, it's what they're leading with.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't mind shit since we've gotten to talk about it and never got it. Fucking John Jones versus Poatan.
So John Jones has said already several times that he wants to fight on that card. Dana is hesitant because, you know, you can't count on Jones. Like, it's all of a sudden three weeks out from the fight, Jones is like, oh, I have arthritis in my hip. I can't fight. You know, like Jones has fucked off all credibility.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy part is Dana was the biggest dick rider for John Jones there ever was. So for Dana to finally be like, I'm fucking done with this guy, dude. Like,
I think Dana's pissed that John Jones didn't fight Aspinall because he saw the payday that was coming for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. It's like that in addition to everything else, that was finally the straw that broke the camel's back for him, right? But it's like with as big of a fucking John Jones dick rider as Dana was, all of a sudden, like for him to hop off John Jones's meat like that, like how pissed does Dana have to be for him to like say, nah, I'm not going to put the fucking pretty much who everyone thinks is the GOAT on the White House card because I can't trust him. You know, that's not a good look for John Jones, dude. But I do agree with you. Him and Poatan would be a fantastic fight for that card. But I mean, where do they fight at heavyweight, right? Because John's not coming back down to 205.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then, so does that mean Alex gives up his belt then?
It could be, because there has been the talk about him moving up to heavyweight.
Yeah, but bro, even I don't care how big of a payday it is. I'm not giving up my belt just for a one-off with John Jones. That's just me. Maybe Poatan feels differently because we're talking life-changing money, dude. Like that fight with John Jones is going to be the highest selling fight probably ever, you know? So I can see why he would. Would you trade your belt for $30 million? Like, hard to say no.
I was going to say that's a hell of a briefcase to turn down.
Yeah. But you know, what about some other fights that you would like to see on that White House card?
I'll give me a McGregor and Diaz too.
See, that's the one I want. They've been talking and talking for years, although the talk has died down in the last recent years. But, you know, Dana White, he famously said, dude, that fight's always on the table. We can always do that fight, you know? But Diaz has actually said that he's interested in making a comeback, and why not? McGregor Diaz 3, there's no titles or implications, contendership on the line. It's just a good old-fashioned, let's settle it once and for all. Like, it's going to be a fucking banger fight, dude, right? Like, hooked up Connor and, you know, like, and plus roided up Connor. Like, I mean, he's off the roids now as far as I know to get into the training testing protocol, but he's still, you know, he's not going to lose all those games, bro. Like, he's like 180, probably 200 pounds by now. Like, you know, so he's going to be much bigger than the Connor we remember. And Diaz, on the other hand, I mean, that would be definitely a fight that I would be interested in. And while we're at it, I would add Jorge Masvidal versus Nick Diaz.
I'm up for having the Diaz brothers on the same card.
Bro, but can you imagine? Because you saw what Jorge did to Nate, right? But Nick is not Nate. Nick has always had more tools than Nate. You know, Nick is the guy that can body punch. He, you know, Nate has fallen in love with that 1-2 so much that it's really the only thing he throws. He just walks around, throws the 1-2, throws the 1-2 until finally he lands one and it stuns you, and then he goes to try to finish you. Like, Nick mixes up his punches. He throws hooks, he throws body shots, he throws straight shots, he throws kicks, he throws knees. Nick has always been the more complete fighter. But Nick is also like 43 years old, dude. But Masvidal's old too. Masvidal's in probably his 40s too, so early 40s. So I think it would be a nice blood match, you know, like a nice little grudge match. If we're just talking about entertainment value, I also wouldn't mind seeing Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison on that card. I wouldn't mind seeing Islam defend his belt on the card, although who's he going to defend against?
That's what I was thinking, because I was thinking the same thing. Well, you might as well put Ilya and Islam on the same card, but like you said, who the hell is Islam going to grind into the ground?
Well, pull up that welterweight top 5 real quick, and let's see, along with their most recent fights, and let's see who's kind of deserving of that. Who's coming off a win? Who's, you know?
You got Jack Delameda,
who's coming off a loss to Islam, right?
Ian Machado Gary.
And he's coming off a win or a loss?
Win against Bilal.
He's coming off the win against Bilal. Okay.
Yeah, then you got Michael Morales.
He's coming off a huge win over Brady.
Yep. And then you got Bilal.
Bilal?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, Bilal Muhammad. and he's coming off a loss to Ian Machado. Gary, he doesn't get the shot.
And then Prates.
Prates is coming off a huge win, right? Who did Prates knock out?
It was Edwards.
Edwards. That's right. He knocked out Leon. So, yeah, I don't know why my mind's spaced on that. So out of those 5, who do you think is most worthy of the shot?
I'm probably going Michael Morales after what he did with Brady.
That's fair. What about Machado Gary, though? He just beat Bilal, and Bilal was the former champ.
I mean, yeah, but Ian Machado Gary, I've never gotten too much of his fights. I've only seen a couple here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not one that I was going to be like, oh, yeah, ring the bell for, because he's a guy that I'm familiar-ish with.
Well, did you see his fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov?
Probably. Let me see.
You know Shavkat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So go watch his fight with Shavkat, because him and Shavkat was a close-ass fight. Shavkat won by decision.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I had seen that one.
Yeah, you remember Ian Machado Gary was on his back for like 2 whole rounds, dude, but he couldn't finish the choke. And you know why? Because I've said it before, I've broke it down. He didn't get his hand behind the shoulder. If he would have just got his hand behind Shavkat's shoulder, that's
yeah. Now that you're saying that, now it's fucking lit up in my fucking head.
Yeah, jogged it, dude. I think Ian Machado Gary is a good candidate. He definitely deserves the shot, but I don't think it's the most entertaining fight that could be made. You're talking about the White House card, dude. We want bangers. We want great fights. To me, it's either Morales or Prates.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, I know that Morales, like, he beat Brady convincingly. I kind of want to see Prates. Not just because I like the fighting nerds either, but because
I was gonna say, I know you'd say that.
It's not, but I'm trying.
I know.
I get it, but I'm trying to keep the bias. I'm trying to be objective about it. I really think that Prates presents an interesting challenge to Islam. Like, his power and his striking is so precise. You know, like, every round starts standing, so he has a chance until Islam gets within takedown range. You know, it's I don't know. I think Ian Machado Gary might last, like, well, I won't say last longer. I'll say it would be an interesting grappling match, right? Because his jiu-jitsu is fucking top flight, and Islam's grappling is damn near invincible. But I kind of want to see Islam versus a striker who has at least some competency on the ground. But with that said, we're out of time. We'll have to talk more about it next week. Make sure, guys, watch the fight night this weekend, because Strickland and Hernandez, whoever wins that fight is most likely going to be the next in line for Khamzat Chimaev's first defense. So that's a huge fight. You got anything you want to say before we go out?
Nope. We will see y'all next Wednesday.
Yeah, yo, it's game time. Ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network.